If you feel stressed about money in America, that stress isn't accidental. It's not bad luck. It's not just inflation. It's not because you're irresponsible. That stress is profitable. America didn't just normalize financial stress, it monetized it. Every late fee, overdraft, medical bill, interest charge, and penalty generates revenue. Someone is making money from your anxiety. Right now, millions of Americans wake up already worried about money. Not because they're reckless spenders, but because survival itself has been turned into a business model. The system is designed so that staying afloat creates profit, and that's why financial anxiety never seems to end. Let's start with a simple question. When did stress become normal? At some point, worrying about money stopped being a warning sign. It became everyday life. Americans joke about being broke. They laugh about overdraft fees. They casually mention medical debt and credit card balances. Living paycheck to paycheck is treated like adulthood. This normalization is exactly what allows the system to thrive. When stress feels normal, people stop questioning it. They stop pushing back, and extraction becomes invisible. The modern American economy doesn't just tolerate stress, it feeds on it. Financial anxiety keeps people borrowing, paying fees, and accepting bad deals. Stress keeps people stuck in jobs they hate. It discourages risk. Calm people question systems. Stressed people comply. Let's talk about fees, the purest form of monetized stress. Overdraft fees punish moments of financial fragility. You're already short on money, and the system charges you for it. Late fees work the same way. Miss a payment by 1 day, and you're charged. Not because it costs companies more, but because stress makes money. Fragility is profitable. Credit card interest is stress turned into a business model. High interest rates don't exist to help people borrow responsibly. They exist because struggle is expected. The entire industry depends on people carrying balances and missing payments. If everyone paid in full every month, the system would collapse. Stress is the product. Medical billing takes monetized stress even further. No one chooses medical debt. One illness or accident triggers financial chaos. It happens while people are still recovering. Bills arrive that make no sense. Insurance denies claims. Collections follow. Stress becomes a long-term financial relationship you never agreed to. Insurance itself is sold as protection, but it's structured around complexity. Deductibles, copays, denials, and out-of-network charges create uncertainty. The stress of not knowing whether you're covered is part of the experience. Insurance companies profit not just from premiums, they profit from hesitation. Banking monetizes timing. Your paycheck arrives late, your bill hits early. The gap generates fees. Banks know exactly when people are most vulnerable. Right before payday, after rent, during emergencies. That's when extraction peaks. By dash now, dash pay, dash later, services promise relief, easy payments, no interest, no credit check. But what they actually sell is delayed stress. Anxiety spreads across months. Obligations stack, and pressure becomes permanent. Student loans monetize stress over decades. They shape where people live and what jobs they take. They delay families and limit freedom. Stress becomes background noise, and the system treats that as normal. Predictable stress creates predictable cash flow. Long-term anxiety is profitable. Housing is one of the largest stress engines. Rent rises, mortgage rates climb, property taxes increase, insurance premiums jump. A roof over your head becomes a source of anxiety. That anxiety locks people into commutes, landlords, and jobs they can't escape. Stability becomes fear management. Here's the key realization. Financial stress reduces choice. And when choice disappears, profit increases. People accept worse terms, higher interest, predatory loans. Stress creates urgency, and urgency is profitable. Even time is monetized. Americans work longer hours, juggle side hustles, sacrifice rest. Exhaustion becomes a feature. Tired people don't fight systems, they survive them. Burnout keeps everything running. Compliance replaces resistance. System blames individuals. If you're stressed, it's your fault. You didn't budget well enough. You didn't plan properly. That blame protects the structure. Shame keeps people quiet, and silence keeps extraction invisible. Entire industries exist to manage stress. Debt collectors buy it. Credit bureaus sell it as data. Fintech apps predict vulnerability. Even self-help finance often treats systemic problems as personal failure. Stress gets repackaged and resold. The cycle deepens. When everyone is struggling, struggle feels normal. Stress stops being a warning sign. It becomes life. Monetization becomes invisible. This is the darkest part. If Americans suddenly became financially calm, parts of the economy would panic, revenue would fall, business models would collapse. That's how deeply stress is embedded. This wasn't designed by one villain. Incentives shaped outcomes. Extraction was rewarded. Over time, stress became one of the economy's most valuable resources. People work harder, earn more on paper, feel constantly behind, always anxious, always tired, always paying. One emergency away from disaster. Once you see that stress is monetized, everything makes sense. The fees, the confusion, the exhaustion, the lack of lasting relief. This isn't about fear, it's about clarity. The stress isn't a personal failure, it's a product, and the system doesn't need force. It runs on acceptance, on normalization, on silence. But once you see it, you can't unsee it. And once enough people see it, the question changes. It stops being, why am I so stressed? And becomes something far more dangerous. Why is my stress so profitable?